Good morning, peoples. How are you this fine day? I am Wayne Walker, your amazing, outstanding, most excellent host of the Hypno Lion Roar, the podcast with teeth. It's a mouthful. Got a good episode today. I'm looking forward to it. But yet, so far, all of them I've looked forward to. I've had a lot of fun doing them. I hope that those of you who are listening to them are enjoying them half as much as I am. And if you've got requests on topics and that, I would love to hear them. I've got, 30 weeks of topics laid out, but I'm subject to change that based on how I feel and based on the feedback that I get from you folks. So anyway, notice my hat today. It is a Texas hat. I don't have a military hat to wear. I didn't want to wear the same ones. So my military people out there, or if you have people that are in the military and you have a hat or even a shirt that you'd like me to wear, get it over to me. I'll leave the address there. I would love to promote it, give you a shout out on the podcast here. Anything I can do to support our men and women in uniform. I am an Army veteran, and that a lot of great memories. You wouldn't have. Some of the memories are at the time were kind of iffy, but hindsight, it's always 2020. So anyway, today we are covering a part of the theories in hypnosis, the conditioning the subconscious mind. Okay. So, but also during this episode that we're going to be covering, well, let me read the description. Okay. Uncovering the intriguing world of hypnosis theories, focusing on conditioning the subconscious mind. In this podcast episode, join us as we delve into the explanation of the hypnotic principles and practical tips on meal planning for those who are embracing the carnivore way of eating. So that's going to be fun. And before I move on, let me just announce or tell you what I've got planned. I'm going to be doing a giveaway on here. And the giveaway is this. I make beef jerky because we eat it for snacks. It's great. It's all natural. No preservatives. We make beef jerky, and I make a lot of it. And normally when I make it, I'm making, I'm taking, 10 pounds of meat and making beef jerky out of that. And I end up with, 4 or 5 pounds, maybe half the weight. And it's really good. Every time my family hears that I'm making jerky, they're sending me messages to send some out to them. But anyway, I am going to do a giveaway of some of my beef jerky. And I don't know the details yet on how I'm going to give it away. You're going to have to do something for me in way of promoting or that. I just have to figure out a way to measure it and get your name. And then I'm going to choose 2 people that I'm going to send out a pound of my beef jerky to. Now, this is not something that I sell. It's something that I make for me and my family and that, but I wanted to share it, give people an opportunity to taste an amazing product that I make. I enjoy making it. And no 2 batches are the same because I'm not anal retentive enough to write down any recipes. And my wife is always talking about, well, you need to write down the recipe because this is good. And it's like, I have intentions, but it never gets done. So I need a secretary. I need somebody to follow me around to do all those detailed things. I'm not a detail person. I'm a big picture kind of, I only do the details when I have to or when my wife says no. Anyway, so today, theories of hypnosis, conditioning the subconscious mind. Okay. And make no mistake about it. The subconscious mind must be conditioned in order to put into it and get out of it what you want. Otherwise, it's like a boat without a rudder or a ship without a rudder. It's just kind of floating around and it's doing its thing. And when it opens up, it takes stuff in it. It could be crap and nothing that you want and blah, blah, blah. So you have to condition it. Okay. So conditioning the subconscious mind involves a couple of things: understanding its functions and implementing strategies and to influence its programming. Insights are from various sources. The subconscious mind is a part of our mind that makes decisions without needing to actively think about them. It's programming. Okay, you push that button, that happens. Okay, it differs from the conscious mind, which encompasses thoughts that we're aware of at any given time, which means that we're in conversation. If you're sitting in front of a person, you're in the conscious world. You have to listen to them. Okay, you have to focus. You have to be in the now. You have to be present. Remember that, guys and gals. Be present. Be present with the one that you love. Be present with your kids. Take the time, sit back. We can all get so focused on the to-dos that we overlook what we should do. And I struggle with this because I get so focused in this and, I'm in this, don't bother me. This is my world. I'm trying to, But I've had to tell my wife that, look, if you need to talk to me, if you want that, you need to stop me and say, look me in the eyes, this is what I need, blah, 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 blah. And that's my cue to say, yeah, you're right. Let me be present. I wish I could say that was easy. It's not. But anyway, at any given moment, the unconscious mind, which holds past events and experiences that we don't remember at all. Okay. Imagine this. You go into a restaurant, you sit down, you look across the restaurant, you see a person way over there in the corner, and you go, I know that guy or girl. If your wife is with you, guys, and you say you know that girl, be careful. But anyway, so you know that person. So you ask yourself, gosh, dang, what's their name? What's her name? Okay, what you've just done is you've asked the subconscious mind a loop question. And when you ask the subconscious mind a loop question, it does not stop. And you can forget about it. And you can say, oh, well, they get up and they go out the restaurant because I know they go, what's his name? And it could be 5 minutes and you're in the middle of taking a bite and you go, oh, Sam. That was Sam. Or you could be on your drive home, not thinking about anything, and all of a sudden, Sam. Or in the middle of the night, waking you up, or in the next day, or 4 days. But at some point in time, your subconscious mind is going to give you that information because you asked it a loop question. Now, I want you to think about a loop question. In your way in which you communicate with other people, your kids. If little Johnny comes home, little Johnny, man, he's everywhere. But anyway, little Johnny comes home, brings his report card, and it used to be A, B, C, D's, F's, whatever. was the yardstick in which they were graded. So just for the sake of argument, let's say that you got a D in math. You see this, and in your wonderful wisdom, you look at little Johnny and you go, or say to him, why are you so stupid in math? Well, you've just asked a little question. And little Johnny's little pea brain is twirling around. And that question is, why am I so stupid in math? And that subconscious mind goes, you're so stupid in math because of this, and because of this, and because of this. And the next day, he's at school and he's in math, and, oh, you're so stupid in math because of this. And as a parent, you've just created an issue with little Johnny and his math. Not because you did it on purpose, but because whatever, that's the way that you presented it. The better question would have been, oh, little Johnny, you got a D in math. What is it we have to do to get you better in math? What do we need to do? What are the areas that you feel that you're weak in math on? Let's work together on this. Take some responsibility as a parent and quit relying on the schools to do a lot of the job that you're supposed to be doing. Be careful the questions that you ask and the way that you approach your children, because you will create issues with them. Not because you meant to, but because maybe that's the way you were raised, or you have your own things going on that maybe you need to re-examine. Just a thought. Anyway, so the habit, the subconscious mind it creates the habit. It's resistant to change. Habits are resistant to change because they're organized in such a way that they're moving you forward and you don't have to think about them. Operating in low vibrational frequency, like hypnosis during the first 7 years of life after the habits are formed, and repeating something over and over and over and over again. Okay. Imagine starting a new job. You go to the job, whatever it is, and you have to do something that's repetitive. Okay. And you start the process. They teach you what to do. Now, what's going to happen is you're going to start that, and your little pea brain is going to start looking at ways to make the job easier and more palatable to you. You're going to be thinking outside the box. And they may not want you to think outside the box. They may say, this is the way that you're going to do it, which time at the water cooler you're going to bitch about, well, the way they do it is so stupid. I can make this so much simpler. Okay. But you're looking at the little piece of the puzzle here. You don't know the big picture of why these things are. Maybe you should learn. Anyway, so that's what we do. But you settle down into doing a repetitive motion or something repetitively over and over. And then pretty soon it becomes habit. It becomes something that you don't have to think about. And you can do it, and you can talk about whatever and this, or think about, the vacation you're getting ready to go on next week, or whatever the case may be. Okay. So the subconscious mind is like a huge memory bank. It stores all of your experiences, memories, skills, deals with all your bodily functions, deals with everything. And with every idea, emotion, memory, or image from the past is being formed of communication from the conscious or subconscious mind to the conscious mind. Okay. We think in pictures. We don't think in words. That's why images are so powerful. Okay. That's why the old saying, of pictures worth 1,000 words. I'm up for that because I don't like talking sometimes anyway. you know, I deal in short sentences with people. Something I have to work on. But anyway, so if I show you this lemon, you know that it's a lemon. And I start painting a picture of this lemon for you to where I can activate the memory, a past memory of you having an experience with the lemon. However that experience may be. Maybe it was a wedge of lemon on your iced tea when you ordered it, or when your meal came out and you had fish and you had a wedge of lemon on the side of the plate, and you take it and you squeeze it. When you do that, you smell the aroma. The aroma permeates the air, and you give it a squeeze and you see the juice drip, and really focus on that juice. And then imagine that if you were to stick your tongue out on that thing, and just as you're bringing it towards your mouth and you've got your tongue out and you're anticipating on touching that lemon, that juicy lemon, with your tongue, and you think about the tartness it's going to explode in your mouth all of a sudden. And then when you finally touch it, many of you right now, as I explain that scenario, your jaws tightened, you started salivating. You may even had to have swallowed because of saliva built up in your mouth. And all of this happened because of an image. And some of you are going to send me a message, go, oh my God, I experienced that lemon as if it was real, because it was real. And you experienced that before, so that memory came back, you relived it. It's nothing different than going on the most amazing vacation and coming home and telling somebody about it, and you're reliving the experience. The sights, the smells, the feelings of this and that, and the excitement and that. Or it could be a negative, and you're reliving that, and you can make it just as real. And if the person that you're telling has had a similar experience, oh yeah, I remember this, and then they want to tell you, and maybe they interrupt you in your story and say, oh yeah, but blah, blah. Human nature. So reprogramming the subconscious mind involves allowing it to take over and responding to with the positive, uplifting, empowering thoughts and actions. Positive affirmations, proactive daily practices are an effective way to reprogram the subconscious mind. Although, is it a way? Yeah. Is it easy? Nope. Nope, it's not. And the reason it's not easy is because we live in a world of immediate gratification, and you want to see the results now. You don't want to put in the work to get the results. So you have to be steadfast in what you do and what you want. And if you want easy, I mean, there is easy. I'll explain that in a minute. But becoming aware of subconscious mind patterns is a powerful technique for altering negative subconscious mind patterns. And once we're aware of these patterns, once we self-reflect, which the name of my company, my business, my hypnosis company is Reflective Mind Hypnosis. There's a reason for that, because reflect on yourself. And once you're aware of what you do, your patterns, then you can take the necessary actions to make the changes and have them follow automatically. Sound simple? It is. I mean, it's not rocket science. It's like I say, What I do is not rocket science. It's a little bit of common sense. It's a little bit of know-how. It's understanding what the goal is. You have to be very careful. There's a fine line between helping people and manipulating people. You have to understand what that line is. Okay. So there's easy ways to overcome those. Impact on well-being. Trauma. Trauma is stored in the subconscious mind and can prevent people from finding peace and experiencing true happiness, and leading them to seek compensation or escape from their thoughts. I had a gentleman call me yesterday, and he called me because he wanted to find a hypnotist for his wife. And they've been married 32 years. He was explaining to me, after 32 years, she shared with him that as a child, that she had been molested by 2 family members, both uncles. One has now passed away. They had developed dementia, or actually passed away, and then the other one has the onset of dementia. And all of a sudden, after 32 years, which she never shared any of this with her husband, and there's a reason for that. There's fear, there's shame, there's embarrassment. So you keep that stuff in, and it festers. And at some point in time, you can keep it in. You can keep the lid on it, but at some point in time, it's going to want to escape and get out, however it is. Okay. If left untreated or unrecognized, I guess you could say. But anyway, they were getting ready to go to a family reunion, and all of a sudden she's not wanting to go. She had developed depression. He said that she's crying every day. So there's some things that are going on with that. And he goes, she's been on pills. The pills aren't working. She's been to a talk therapist, which that rarely, if ever, really works. So she wanted to seek out a hypnotist. So the question then becomes, could I help her overcome this? Absolutely. In short order. So long as she's willing to follow some simple instructions and she allows herself to go into hypnosis. Okay. Have those 2 things, we're golden. And this stuff can be put out to pasture fairly quickly. Okay. But people have a tendency to want to hold on to things, whether it's because it's a part of them, it's part of their identity, or that, and it's, there could be a fear of releasing it. But a lot of times the people ask, well, I want to find out why. I want to go back and, I don't remember certain aspects. I want you to help me remember. Now we're getting into some areas that I will question. If a person has missing memories from the past, I do not actively seek out to recover those things or have them remember, because I don't want to create issues in a person. Can I help them recover them? Probably. High probability of yes, I could help them recover them. But what's the purpose? Why? God put 2 eyes in front of her head, not the back, for a reason. There's not a thing you can do about history. It's written in the stone tablet of time. It's there. What's the purpose of knowing? Okay. What issues will it cause by knowing? So my approach is a little bit differently. Well, maybe not than from other hypnotists, but I tend to go for release that stuff to where it doesn't affect them anymore. And once that pressure is released, then they can look back on it and really ask, okay, why? And high degree probability is they don't go back and seek the why, because the issue has been resolved, so they can move forward and release it, and they're not dragging that crap with them. Okay. So anybody that tells you got to investigate and this and that, that's a bunch of bullshit right here, Texas. No bullshit. All right. I'm a firm believer in leaving stuff in the past, getting over it. And once you get over it, and once you separate it and you're no longer affected by it, then if you want to go back and find out the why to where you're not emotionally connected to it as you're doing it, knock yourself out. I'm not going to help you do it, but you can put the subconscious mind to work on it and probably pull it out. So anyway, so by understanding the function of the subconscious mind and implementing strategies to influence it, you can program individuals to work towards conditioning their subconscious mind to support their goals and overall well-being. Okay? The subconscious mind, you need to look at the subconscious mind as a tool. It is a tool that is there for your usage. Powerful tool. Now, what I mean by conditioning subconscious mind is to work with a person, put them into hypnosis, preconditioning it to go into and be in hypnosis so that it can be preconditioned to accept new information or programming. And the best thing is that you, after a period of time of working with a hypnotist, can take charge of this. You see, a lot of people will go and they want to know about self-hypnosis. And they'll go online and they listen to these pre-recorded hypnosis sessions or that for various things. And for the most part, they fail. And the reason they fail is that you've got no yardstick to measure it by. Okay, and what I mean by that is you don't know whether it's being done right or wrong, or how you're supposed to feel, or are you in hypnosis? Are you not in hypno? Blah, 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 blah. And that's why what I tell people is, look, work with a hypnotist so they can get you into hypnosis, lead you into deeper hypnosis so you can allow yourself to experience it, and then you're going to have a yardstick to measure it by, because the experience that you now have is an accurate representation of being in hypnosis. Okay? Now, once the subconscious mind has experienced hypnosis, each time you work with the hypnotist, the length of time to get you into hypnosis starts to shrink, because they're conditioning you to go into hypnosis very quickly. Okay? Which means that on the front end, I may spend, now, let me qualify this. Can I take an individual and do what is called a speed induction on them and put them in hypnosis in a matter of seconds? Yes. Yes. Okay. However, not everybody is susceptible to that in the beginning. It may or may not work. Okay. So what I do is I take my time with everybody. And depending on the personality of them, it will make it as, will affect the words that I use and how I approach it, the maternal versus paternal approach, and all this other stuff that I look at. And I take them this time, just imagine this time. This is a length of time, whatever that time is. It could be 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, it could be an hour, whatever the case may be. But I'm going to take my time, because that's what this session is for, to get them into hypnosis to the depth level that I want them at. And then I start my work from there. Now, on the second session that I work with a person, that length of time, because I preconditioned them with certain words, and those certain words are, when I work with them individually, or if they get a recording that I give them and they hear those words, the subconscious mind goes, and the time is shortened. So let's say the second session goes from, first session, let's just sake of argument, 30 minutes. Second session, 15 minutes. Because again, I'm leading them into hypnosis to a level or a depth that I want them to be at, to have success at what we're going to do. And then the third session goes from 15 minutes down to 5 minutes, 3 minutes. And then the fourth session, a minute. So the sessions get shorter, and the work that we do on the back end, 20, 30 minutes or whatever. And that is preconditioning the subconscious mind for hypnosis. So when the reins are turned over to the client, and I show them how, because I'm teaching them along the way of how to go into hypnosis, self-hypnosis, they're very clear at the yardstick that they have and know exactly what it's like to be into hypnosis. Okay. There are people who come to me for meditation. I said, I've been trying to meditate for years and I get in the position and I do the ohms and all of this stuff here. And I say, and I ask them, because, well, were you instructed on how to do that? Who taught you? Well, I just read the book. Okay. Self-taught, in other words. You got no yardstick. So I tell people, look, follow this. I'm going to hypnotize you. And by the time we're done our work together, your meditation life is going to change. Same thing with prayer. See, a lot of people, when they pray, it's like sitting down at a meal and say, please bless this food, blah, 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 blah. That's prayer. Yeah, you're asking for blessings on the abundance and the food and this and whatever your focus or religious convictions are in that. But if you want to change your prayer life, get hypnotized. Now, people are going to freak out about that, and I'll probably get some messages about that. But let me explain what I'm saying. When you go into hypnosis, because hypnosis is a destination, you're going into hypnosis, okay? Which is in the realm of the subconscious mind. When you pray, if you want to pray and move your prayer to a different level, then you go into prayer. And if you look at the verbiage from past writings, old writings, the words they use are going into prayer. You need to go into prayer. It's a destination. Now, there's not a destination just for prayer and then a destination just for hypnosis, a destination for self-reflection. You're accessing all the same place, the same thing, the subconscious mind. What is different is the intent of what you're doing it. And when you go into prayer and you're going into the subconscious mind, you're going to a higher level. You're going to the higher self, and your prayer life will change. The connection will change. The clarity will change. The understanding will change. Okay? And this is a subject that we can delve into at a later date. But understanding the subconscious mind and hypnosis, subconscious mind, it governs your behavior patterns, reactions, preferences. It's responsible for controlling your responses to various stimuli. It's part of the mind that's receptive to hypnosis and can be influenced to accept new information and new programming. Hypnosis is a way to communicate directly with the subconscious mind, which we've already discussed, allowing individuals to implement special strategies, make positive changes, get rid of destructive patterns, destructive beliefs, self-limiting beliefs at the subconscious level. And all of this can shift outcomes and shift behaviors. The old saying of, you can move mountains if you know how to move mountains, if you know the techniques. So hypnosis is a powerful tool for reprogramming the mind, tap into the strengths, confidence, eliminate self-limiting beliefs. For those of you out there who've ever been to a motivational seminar, pick a motivational speaker, just pick one. And you've been to the motivational seminar. So you go to the seminar, you're there, you've got your notebook or you've got the paperwork they're giving you to take notes, and they're talking and they're up there and they're doing all of this, which I can guarantee you there's some hypnotic language being used. Okay. And they get you all riled up in belief, and you're just excited, and you've got some ideas and this and all of this wonderful stuff. And you spent the next 4 or 5 or 6 hours of the day, or maybe it's a weekend or whatever, and you're just excited. You leave that environment, you go home, and you're going, I've got the answer. And you embark on implementing what you've learned. The first 3 days, you're there, you're on it. Coming into day 4, the excitement starts to drop. The belief starts to drop. Day 5, and it's a downward spiral. And then a week later, it's like back to the same old patterns. So did the talk fail? No. The talk delivered probably some great information that if you could implement it, it would probably change your life. But what you didn't do was change the 6 inches up top, the 6 inches in between your ears. You didn't eliminate the old programming. You didn't implement the new way that you're going to do to support what you're doing. Because you can do things with willpower, but willpower is not sustainable. Willpower is for short-term burst to accomplish something. It has a beginning, has an end, and you're done and you move past it. If you have to use willpower to sustain something for any length of time, at some point you will go into what I call emotional shutdown. And it's like boom, 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 and then boom, you shut down. And then all of the other crap that you've been programmed with, what's the use? I can't change. This is not going to work. I'm blah, 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 blah. And then there you go. And it's a vicious cycle. So you got to figure out how to use the tool that we all have, subconscious mind, and how to make it work. Change it. That's the thing. Change it. Okay. There's something called covert hypnosis, subconscious behavior conditioning. Covert hypnosis is an attempt to communicate with another person's unconscious mind without informing the person that they will be hypnotized. And it aims to change the person's behavior subconsciously so that it targets, believes that they've changed their mind of their own will, their own, they've made a decision to change their mind. And when performed successfully, the target is unaware that they were hypnotized or that anything unusual has occurred. Now, you may look at this and you may hear this and go, I don't believe that for a second. It can be done. I can do it. But that's that fine line where, you know, you're helping people versus manipulating people. That's manipulation. Okay? You have to be careful with that. Or I have to be careful with that. Because there's ramifications to that. For example, if you get on YouTube and I think you type in the hypnosis thief or robber hypnosis, the robber hypnotist or something to that effect. And you'll probably come up with several videos where they've got security cameras where the individual had gone through the line of a checkout stand and leaned over and spoke to the cashier. And you may even see her, just as he's talking to her, just drop her head. And then she gave him all the money out of the till. And you may look at that and go, that's just utter nonsense. No, it's not. Because I can guarantee you that if he did that, he was watching everybody, every one of those checkers, to see which one that he could approach and accomplish that with. He picked his subject very carefully. And he may have been back to that store 2 or 3 different times to watch the actions, and may have even gone through and spoken to her, use some key words and see her reaction. It can be done. Okay. There's videos online that you can search out, and you can see a guy get pulled over by a cop on purpose, and he hypnotized the cop and just drove away, and the cop's left there going, what the just happened? Okay. It's there. It can be done. If you look at faith healers, or regardless of whether you believe or not believe, it doesn't really matter. But if you look at faith healers and you watch faith healers and you listen to them, they're all using hypnotic language. Okay. What you're not seeing on the program is what they did before with the audience. Okay. The preconditioning. Okay. Now, there are some people that, mind over matter. And it happens. Is that good or bad? I don't know. I guess it's based on your belief structure, your faith, which I don't know. But it's all hypnotic language. Politicians, listen to them. They all use hypnotic language. Okay, some are much better than others. Obama, you listen to his cadence and the words, it was all hypnotic language. Okay. So, all right, practical use of subconscious mind. The subconscious mind can be thought as a guide individuals may not even know they have. It can help practical daily situations, such as finding misplaced items, identifying suitable relationships, emitting positive and negative signals during first-time meetings. It can all provide insights during times of transitions or challenges. If you've ever met someone and all, for whatever reason, you say, you know what, I really like this person. That connection, that sameness, whatever, there's something. But on the same thing, if you've ever met a person and you go, you know what, I don't trust this person as far as I can spit. You're picking up on signals. Now, are they right or wrong? I don't know. I don't know. Again, a lot of this is all theory. Nobody knows, but I do know reactions. Okay. So by working with a person, utilizing hypnosis to precondition the subconscious mind, individuals can take charge of their subconscious, influence the receptiveness of new information or programming. Tool, subconscious mind tool. Subconscious mind equals tool. Learn how to work the tool. Learn how to use the tool. And the process can lead to positive changes, empowering people to shape their lives for the better. Okay? That quick. That quick. Boom. It's all in what you're open to. It's not woohoo. It's not out there. It's mind science. Okay, so that's it on that topic. Again, if you have any questions on it, send me a text. Be happy to answer it as best I can. If you have suggestions going forward, I'd like to hear those. So let's move on to our second topic, carnivore diet. Meal planning and recipes, practical tips for meal preparation, favorite carnivore recipes, snack ideas, and the on-the-go options. Okay, as you know, or maybe you don't know, maybe this is the first episode that you've listened to. Second week in September last year, 2023, to today, which is at the time of this recording, is February 14th. Happy Valentine's Day. You probably won't see this or hear this episode for a few weeks, but happy belated Valentine's Day. Okay. So to today, February 14th, I started the carnivore diet, second week in September. And I'm down just right at about 80 pounds. Applause. Amazement. I feel better and I'm healthier than I have been in a long, long time. And I can tell you that if you're overweight, if you're struggling with your weight, you're struggling with your health, it's not your fault by any stretch of the imagination. It's not an issue of eating less and exercising more. That's the studies have now shown that that's not the case. I lost most all of that weight or gotten healthy, reshaped my body with almost no exercise, increase in exercise. Now I did start back to the gym, but I'm just doing that to build muscle. It's not the reason. It's not. Is it going to help in the long term? Yeah, it's going to help in the long term. You use your muscles, you keep flexibility and all. That's all good. But by following the carnivore diet, your body is going to change naturally because you're giving it the correct food, the source of nutrient-dense food. So anyway, so you're eating only animal product, meat, eggs, hard cheeses, okay? And people say, well, it's boring. Okay, yeah, boring, but your meals aren't supposed to be exciting. I got cows out there. Now, the cows get excited for when we put hay out because they haven't had hay in a couple of days. They're excited to eat the hay, but they've grazed on the grass. Okay. They're excited. But I'm telling you, well, after about 30 minutes, they're moving away from the hay and they're laying down and letting the digestion do whatever whatever happens. So eating is not supposed to be exciting. Eating is supposed to nourish the body and then you move on. Okay. If you're turning it into an event, then you're going to create some issues for yourself. Not to say that you can't do that every once in a while, but just freaking eat to live and quit living to eat. So anyway, setting clear goals, establishing goals for the carnivore diet, such as the weight management. Here's my experience. I never tell people what to do. So I have to be careful with my words when I start to say, well, here's what you need to do. No, I'm going to tell you things to think about. Set clear goals. Know what weight that you want to get to. Start your eating that way, and you weigh yourself every morning when you're right after your feet hit the ground, and you weigh yourself. You go to the bathroom first, do the elimination, do whatever your daily constitution at that time, come back and get on the scale and record your weight, because that is the weight that you're going to deal with. If you wait for a couple of hours, you're going to weigh more because of water weight, because of this and that. It's not going to be your true weight. Okay. First thing in the morning, wake up, feet hit the ground, go pee, go whatever, come back, weigh yourself. Okay. Write it down. I have an app on my phone. I record my weight most every day, along with my blood pressure. Okay. Which, by the way, is right now, my 30-day blood pressure is 123 over, I think, 79. So anyway, it wasn't that way when I started. I can guarantee you that. Okay. So you want to plan your meals in advance. Okay. You've got your meat in the freezer. Pull out a couple of days meat out of the freezer, put it in the refrigerator. If it's beef, you can put it in the refrigerator and you can leave it in there for 4, 5, 6 days. All it's going to do is it's going to age, is what it's going to do. Okay. And if you're dealing with a tough cut of beef, you want to age it. Okay. So anyway, consider a weekly meal plan, however you want to do that. Okay. Literally, there are times when we get ready to eat. My wife says, well, what do you want for dinner? It's like, you didn't pull anything out for me. But you can pull out a frozen steak, fill your sink up with cold water, drop it in there, and within about an hour, that steak is going to be thawed. Same thing with chicken or fish or whatever. Just drop it in cold water, and if you want to, change the water after about 30 minutes. But you want to fill it up and have plenty of water in there, because water will suck the cold out of that meat. It'll thaw it very quickly. Okay. Explore different meat cuts. Like, again, I've already explained this on other episodes of the podcast. I'll repeat it again. We have a small farm. We raise our own cows. We raise our own chickens, goats, quail. I've got right now in the freezer probably 90 quail. Pull them out. There you go. Thaw them out, salt them up, put them in the broiler. 8 minutes later, pull it out. Eat the ass end of that thing and let nothing left but the bones. And then she takes the bones and puts them in the freezer till she has enough to make some bone broth. There you go. Okay. But explore different cuts of meat. Okay. You can do reverse sears, put on the grill. You can if you don't have a cast iron skillet, you're missing out. Get a cast iron skillet. Cook on a cast iron skillet. That's great. Put some butter in there. Let that thing sear. The aroma permeates the house. It's wonderful. Okay. you can, and we've got one of those little oven things like the Ninja or whatever. It's a set it and baking and fast fry and all that stuff. We use that a lot just because oven's too big for the cuts of meat. Okay. You can cook sous vide. Sous vide is a way to cook where it's you're cooking with hot water, and you set the temperature on the thing to 132. You make sure that your meat is in a vacuum sealed. You put the butter and everything in there, drop it in that water, have it submerged, and you leave it for 24 hours. And not only will it cook it, it will make it very tender. So if you've got a tough cut of meat and then you pull it out, you pat it dry, reverse sear it real quick in this cast iron skillet, or you put it on the grill for 2 or 3 minutes, slap that baby on a plate, and in a matter of minutes, it's gone. There you go. Managing social events and eating out. We don't eat out. You know, people invite us out. We just don't eat out. Because we go out, it's like, it's a pain. One, we're going to order meat that's not going to taste good because we've already had our own stuff. So it's like, you know, if they'd let me take the meat in and put it on the plate and that BYOM, huh? I guess, maybe. And sometimes I don't like being around people any damn way. That's me. Anyway, managing your social events, just consider options. But once you're on the carnivore diet for after a couple of 3 weeks, I'm telling you right now, you go out and and they've got they've got a banquet or buffet of whatever. You're not going to want any of that crap. You're just going to go after the meat. Now, if they got several different meats, knock yourself out. It's good. I mean, you're just not going to have that issue. Okay. I do a lot of, well, I don't say a lot of, I do egg salads. Because we got eggs. So I'll hard boil eggs, 24 of them, make egg salad, put it in the refrigerator, and eat that with pork rinds. And that's a meal. Protein, fat, I'm good. Okay. You can take, like last night we had pork chops. And we take the pork chops, you dredge it in your eggs, whip up eggs, salt it and season it however you want it. Dredge it into the pork chops, and you take pork rinds and you grind them up in a food processor, crush them. What I did was, before I realized that we had a food processor, is just put them in a Ziploc bag and beat the hell out of them with whatever I could find that suited me. Helped me with my anger issues on some things, but anyway. But you crumble them up, and then you just coat them on the pork chop, and then take it and put it in the oven and bake it at 375 for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever it is. Pull it out, and it's like fried pork chops. And you can do the same thing with chickens. You can do the same thing with meat if you want to do it with meat, or just have something different, a different texture. You can do that. I make deviled eggs, put them in the freezer, and as a snack, grab a deviled egg, and I'm good. Okay. You can do carnivore casserole with ground beef, homemade pickled eggs, snack ideas, bone broth. Okay. Bone broth. I like drinking bone broth in a cup, like, having a cup of soup. It's filling. It's great for you. Canned mackerel or sardines. That's a good option for a quick snack if you like sardines. Some people don't. I like them. And then beef jerky or beef chips. You can do a search on the internet and get recipes and that. I may do a recording of making some of this stuff. If you guys want, just let me know. But there's ways to make it more enjoyable for you if you want to do that. I mean, I'm kind of simple. Let's not make a big deal out of it. Okay. Because I enjoyed cooking, and I used to spend hour and a half doing a meal prep, doing the meat and doing the sides and baked potato and all that stuff. And I don't do that anymore. Meal prep is 15 minutes. If it takes longer than that, I'm not doing it. Okay. What you can do is make some get hamburger meat, preform it into patties, lay it out, and just freeze it on a baking sheet. Just lay them out, and when they're frozen, pull it out, put them in Ziploc bags, put 3 or 4 to where they're loose. You just go in there, you pull it out, put it in the oven, or fry it up or whatever, frozen. And what that does is it helps prevent you from overcooking the beef. And it's really easy. Okay. A couple of those, a little bit of cheese on top of it. Got my fat. There you go. Okay. Okay. So that is pretty much it today on things. I hope you learned some stuff. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, if you have any questions, get them over to me. I'd be happy to answer them. Would love your suggestions. Also, again, I can't remember if I mentioned this in the beginning. I'm going to be doing a giveaway here in the next few weeks. And the giveaway is going to be some of the beef jerky that I make. I'm going to select 2 people. I'm not sure how that's going to work yet, but the 2 people I select who win, or whatever the case may be, they will receive about a pound of my beef jerky. And this is nothing that I sell. It's just something that I make for myself and the family. So anyway, all right. So I'm done. Have a great day. Go out, be profitable, be good, and always make good choices. Later.